Alright, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum dan good evening. Sekarang jam 5:30 petang dan saya Yuzaidi Udani, saya ingin mengucapkan selamat datang. Welcome to our session, latest editions of Let's Talk About Lenggong. Lenggong. Kita kadang-kadang tak tahu Lenggong kat mana? Lenggong dekat France ke, Lenggong dekat UK ke, Lenggong dekat Australia ke, tapi ini Lenggong di Malaysia, di Perak, negeri Perak. Dan ini adalah satu, saya sangat teruja sebab this is a game changer di mana kita akan showcasekan produk-produk yang terbaru, the latest produk yang akan menggegarkan dunia dalam pasaran pelancongan. Jadi saya sangat teruja dan terima kasih pada MPC melalui Tourism Product Nexus. Kita mencuba untuk mempromosikan produk-produk terbaru untuk kita memaksimalkan produktiviti industri pelancongan. Dan bersama saya insyaAllah Zamir Zuki, looking good dengan bareta dia. Apa khabar Zamir?
I'm good, right? Thank you very
much. Makan?
Only once.
Only once in the afternoon lah. Sekejap lagi kita makan lagi. Okay, so Zamir, apa cerita ni? Kita okay, ada few coming in, ada kita tolong masukkan lah diorang ni. Yang masuk di Zoom ni memang yang privilege lah yang kita invite, jadi rakan-rakan yang khas VIP seats lah. Dan juga tak lupa juga VIP juga, tapi di sebelah sana di mana di Facebook page di Tourism Product Nexus punya Facebook page, minta tolong you all share link tu pada masing-masing punya page ataupun Facebook page supaya kita boleh wawarkanlah produk-produk baru. Jadi di sini di Zoom saya juga ingin mengucapkan selamat datang kepada Tuan Haji Rashid daripada TPN dan juga Puan Hafizah, the Iron Woman. Iron Woman tengah dating dekat taman mana tu Puan Hafizah, saya tak tahulah mana. Dan juga CGC, Lucy, thank you madam. Safina dan juga Rajesh, thank you Rajesh. Kita ada ramai lagi di sini dan juga alias sebenarnya all the way from Langkawi. Dan tak lain tak bukan tetamu istimewa yang mana hari ini show ni is all about him. Macam mana kita nak tengok apa sebenarnya produk yang terbaru daripada beliau. Mungkin Zamir kita boleh kenalkan ataupun saya nak cerita juga sikit-sikit banyak. Minta maaf. Cerita sebenarnya Zamir, kita sangat juga teruja kerana beberapa kementerian, agensi sangat menyokong inisiatif Tourism Product Nexus ni. Antara kementerian ialah Kementerian KETSA. Jadi saya mengucapkan terima kasih kepada KETSA, terutama sekali pada Menteri KETSA yang berhormat Datuk Dr. Syamsul Anwar Nasara yang sangat proaktif dalam mempromosikan Lenggong. Dan Lenggong ni adalah satu, saya rasa is a best kept secret. Dan kali ini kita tak mahu ada rahsia-rahsia lagi, kita nak bongkarkan rahsia Lenggong ni. Dan baru-baru ni beliau telah merasmikan seminar aspirasi Lenggong Geopark di Lenggong daripada pada tahun lepas, dan ini merupakan satu platform yang terbaik, platform promosi dan kesedaran ada awareness kepada kita pelancong-pelancong tempatan, dan juga mungkin kita akan promotekan pada pelancong-pelancong antarabangsa mengenai konsep geopark. Jadi Lenggong ni memang is actually very lucky because to have this very aggressive and very proactive YB YB Datuk Dr. Syamsul Anwar. Saya mengucapkan terima kasih pada YB, dan ini adalah antaranya di mana kita industri pelancongan harus menyokong terutama sekali destinasi-destinasi yang kita consider as new destinasi untuk kita bersedia apabila kita punya border ataupun kesempatan kita dibuka, mungkin tak lama lagi ataupun mungkin akan datang, yang kita kena bersedia. Kita industri ni kita kena bersedia. Tak maulah kita menjual atau mempromosikan produk-produk yang lama, produk-produk basi. Kita mempunyai kompetitor kita sangat agresif. Jadi kita kena lebih agresif untuk mempromosikan produk-produk kita. Bukan tak ada produk, banyak produk. Jadi Zamir, saya rasa you dah pergi Lenggong ni dah berapa puluh kali. Saya tahu tak ada orang rumah kat Lenggong tu, tapi apa rahsia yang Zamir selalu pergi ke Lenggong ni, mungkin selain daripada makanan? Silakan Zamir.
Saya ke Lenggong sebab makanan lah. Yang kedua makanan, yang ketiga makanan, selepas tu kita punya arkeologi, dan sebenarnya banyak lagi sebenarnya di rakan kita ada banyak lagi, tapi kita jangan lagi simpan sebagai rahsia. So, today kita mulakan dengan abang pengantin kita di sebelah tu dah ready, dia dah bersedia untuk berkongsi rahsia di Rumah Tiang 16, dan dia juga adalah, saya anggap Rumah Tiang 16 ni sebagai what they call the gateway to the Lenggong. So kita pergi Rumah Tiang 16, dia akan explain apa, what not to be missed. Okay, so I think without further much ado, I think we can proceed dengan, mungkin you want to see the video first ke macam mana? Jadi kita akan
tadi ada ni tuan tetamu kita ada berkongsi video, mungkin kita kongsi, kita share
yes.
Kita tontonkan video kalau saya dapat tengok ni mana video, takut salah video je sebentar. Baru teringat tadi ada video yang terbaru daripada tuan tetamu kita Alright, okay, here we go. Okay, nampak kan?
Nampak.
Itu dia Zamil. Slow motion. Tapi tak tidur kan? Tak tidur. Slow motion. Okay, I think memang saya sangat betul pula tu. Okey, kita minta untuk siapa itu kita tolong mute kan mikrofon. Kita jangan ada show yang lain pula. Jadi itu dia Zamir, very slow motion dan sangat tenang. Kalau kita ada hutang pun kita hilang hutang kita lah. Hilang hutang kita tengok tonton tu kita hilang hutang kita tu di situ. Jadi Zamir, apa kata kalau kita introduce tetamu khas pada hari ini. Dan saya juga ingin mengucapkan terima kasih pada siapa yang baru datang, baru sampai ke show Let's Talk Lenggong, dan juga Puan Baizuri daripada Tourism Malaysia. Saya rasa ramai kawan-kawan daripada Tourism Malaysia akan tengok melihat apa itu ada dekat Lenggong ni. Kita kalau boleh kita nak promote gila-gila Lenggong ni all out. Okey Zamir.
Okey. Kita tanpa buang masa lagi kita mengenalkan. Saya panggil dia nama penuh Abdul Nasir Jalaluddin, tapi saya panggil dia Brother Nash, Mr. Nash, Rumah Tiang 16. So silakan Mr. Nash perkenalkan ini ataupun berikan kita sedikit perkongsian berdasarkan video-video tadi. Silakan. Kena unmute dulu
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let me just check whether everybody can hear me. Sound and clear.
Loud and clear.
Alright, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera to everybody. My name is what Mr. Zamir has introduced. You can all call me Nash, and I was born here in Lenggong. This is my birthplace, and at an early age of 11 years old, my late dad packed the entire family and then moved us all out to Ipoh because he believed that in Ipoh, bigger town than Lenggong, that the children will be receiving more opportunities to actually, immerse themselves in the multicultural Malaysia. So after that, we never came back to Lenggong. So we left Lenggong for about maybe 30 odd over years. And I just came back to Lenggong 3 years ago, 2017, late 2017. And Lenggong has been very alien to me because I knew nothing about it. So when I came back, I started to check around and then found out that it's actually a UNESCO site, and then that actually really what triggered the entire interest. And I said, why is a UNESCO site has not actually received any kind of significant I would say exposure. And I didn't get to see any tourists here in Lenggong, unlike the places I've been around. And I've been trained in hospitality, and I have about maybe 30 over years of my experience worldwide. And then with my career, that actually really brought me quite to a number of places. According to TripAdvisor cities that I have visited, they recorded the cities that have really ticked about 221 cities around the world, 52 countries altogether, and about 34% of the earth that I have already visited. So with all of these vast, experience that I have been through, something that I picked up is that nothing that others can copy you is actually your culture. So when I came back here in Lenggong, and I said, why? Tourists is not coming to my town. We actually a UNESCO site, and then we had a very deep-rooted culture in our Patani history, and we have very pristine nature. So all of this put together, that could be a very, very irresistible destination for everybody, not only the archaeological enthusiasts, but anybody, nature lovers, cultural lovers, they can actually all come here. So I discussed with my wife and I said, okay, why don't we actually do something? Because my wife is really opposing to this one because she's kind of like very reserved, and then home is basically just for ourselves. So the idea of having guests into our homes is actually quite a not something that received well by her. But then I managed to persuade her, and then we just started small. So I started Rumah Tiang 16 in May 2019, and that actually really was good, I would say, because over less than a year, just before MCO1 kicked in on the 18th of March 2020, I have hosted day excursion guests as well as stay experience guests from 25 over countries. So that I could be really proud of. One of my guests actually, just a year ago, he came here. This is actually a former Danish ambassador that actually came here and stayed here with his wife. And he read about it when Rumah Tiang got a small mention in the Sit Air in-flight magazine, Wings, talking about, the UNESCO sites here, and then about Rumah Tiang actually a host actually, trying to actually get Lenggong into the, tourist destination map. So he just dialed the number and then he just like booked, and then he came, and then he said, oh, wow, that's really fantastic. So that is actually all of the guests' feedback that actually really spurred the, further spur my energy to actually really keep on communicating about Lenggong, because I can tell you that, I'm actually a foreigner to Lenggong herself, because being away for so long, I knew nuts about Lenggong. And when I came back here, I spoke to Professor Dr. Motasaidin himself, and then with all of those, UNESCO archaeological wonders that we have, it got my jaw dropped. I mean, it got my jaw dropped, you see. Yeah, that actually goes the same to many of my guests, because they say, how come these things as this big actually being kept as a secret? We Malaysians, we need to be really proud of our nation. One of it that I really like to actually as a teaser to you guys, is that we have a meteorite impact site here in Lenggong, and that happened about 2 million years ago. And the byproduct of that impact, that is actually the only one available in the whole wide of Asia continent. Can you believe that? How big is an Asian continent, and there's many meteorite impact sites all over Asia continent. But then the only place that actually resulted in this very raw material as a byproduct of the meteorite impact is only here in Lenggong. And people from all
Nash,
over the world.
if I can cut you in, Nash, you were a professional.
Yes.
You had this fantastic career, and suddenly you say, hey, let's balik kampung and do something. I'm so sure that your wife would definitely want the first one to against it. But are you out of mind? And you are now trying to promote a small town that you believe that it can be boom. What do you think? Do you think there's a future here in Lenggong?
Definitely. I can really bet everything on Lenggong, because this is really something that, okay, once you get to know Lenggong, you will fall in love with Lenggong. Ask many of my guests, ask the 25 nationalities of my guests, that have come here, what do they think about Lenggong? Okay, but Lenggong need to have the the people who can really communicate about her to the whole wide world. Yeah, it takes people who has a deep interest in Lenggong history, and then has a way to concoct a storytelling line and then deliver it to the guests. Yeah, so I think I have been trained in hospitality for nearly 30 years ago, 30 years. So I think this is actually God's great plan for me, okay? He has walked me all over the world to make a huge U-turn, and then came back to where I was born, and then help to promote this place. And then I owe it to my community, because I feel that is my responsibility to actually get the coveted title of UNESCO being put into something that can generate an economic return for them.
Yeah.
So this is actually why the basis of the Rumah Tiang founding.
Yeah, Nash, but you were saying just now the UNESCO. Okay, UNESCO was endorsing this Lenggong, I think about 2012.
Right.
Is it 2012? 8 years ago. It was 8 years ago.
30th June 2012. Yes, correct.
It was quite some time. What happened? Why didn't this Lenggong took off? What happened?
I don't know. I don't know.
You were there?
I really do not know, because I just came back 2017.
All right. So from 2007,
and,
Yeah, from 2017, you try your best to to try to promote Lenggong, which I think this is really a best kept secret for Malaysia. And of course, we the tourism industry players definitely would like to thank you. Jutaan terima kasih to you, especially for you to try your best to highlighted this Lenggong. And I know that quite a number of our agencies, for example, the Motec, even Motec is they're trying their best to promote the Lenggong, especially they have their own complex in Lenggong. And with this, I think with your effort, with all the community effort, I'm sure we can do something. Forget about the 2012 that have been endorsed, but let's moving forward. And now you have Rumah 16, Rumah Tiang 16. Rumah Tiang 16. Maybe you can explain a little bit what is Rumah Tiang 16? Is it do they have this number of 16 tiang, or is it what? Or is it why is it called Rumah Tiang 16?
Right, it's actually aptly so because the house is actually a traditional Perak style architecture house. We call it the Rumah Bumbung Lima. Okay, the five roofs or the five ridges house. And for a house to have 16 pillars, it has to be a bigger house. Yeah, that is actually because my family, I have 6 siblings. Yeah, so my dad actually have a foresight that he needed to really build a bigger house for the family to be comfortably living in it. And that's why for the branding purpose, I just simply want to actually have it out of the norm. Just put in Bahasa Melayu Rumah Tiang 16, and then basically it is that, yeah, a house on 16 pillars. And pillars to me is something very, very core, a substance that can actually retain a structure to determine whether it's going to stand strong and grow further, or it's just going to buckle up and then collapse. So
I think it's a symbolic, fantastic, Nash. It's symbolic of the Malay traditional house, and it become icon in the Lenggong. And I think do you intend to expand instead of just one house to have many houses, Rumah 16 of chalet or several? Do you intend? I mean, maybe do you have any plans to do that?
Yes, of course. In the future, definitely, I plan to actually really have my community who has, their abandoned wooden structure houses, beautifully, traditional houses that has been abandoned because there's nobody to care for them. So I hope that she really, engage with them and then have it managed by Rumah Tiang 16. So we can call it, okay, Rumah Pak Abu, managed by Rumah Tiang 16. Okay, something like that. And of course, there's a share with, economic sharing over there because I have the expertise. I believe I have the expertise, and I can actually really help them so that we actually grow together. So just one of the main objectives that I have for my community here in Lenggong. And if I may to actually elaborate a little bit further on the current itinerary that I actually have for Rumah Tiang 16, is actually all community focused itinerary.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
what I call. All right. So
okay, well, just share with us, Nash. Just share with us if somebody interested to go to Lenggong and to stay at your place. What is the program that you can offer to them? What kind of interesting program?
Okay, this is the very thing that I'm going to talk about. Yeah, something this is dear to my heart, close to my heart. And then I call it the Heritage Stay by Rumah Tiang 16. It's actually a 3 days and 2 night stay. Actually, everything put together to actually cover all aspects of Lenggong gems, including the archaeological factors, the cultural factors, as well as the nature factors. Yeah, so. For the 3 days and 2 nights on the arrival, the guests will all be greeted, by myself. Of course, I'm actually the host, and I will actually be donning the traditional Patani costume. We call it the busana, and complete with the tanja, and I actually recite them a pantun, and then have them seated, and then serve them very refreshing welcome drinks and tokens, to actually really welcome, to actually show them how appreciative we are to actually receiving them in our house. Then I will check them in, and then do the quick house orientation, and I will take them out for a lunch, the traditional way, in one of very secluded area that is actually ran by another person, not by myself. So I'm actually
Wow.
contributing back to my community, in that sense. And then of course, in the evening, then of course, during the introduction, of course, I will actually take them on a very leisure walk, on the edge of Tasik Cendero, and then, a very scenic Tasik, a very scenic lake. And then later in the evening, we'll come back to the house. I will have the heritage dinner. This is actually an introduction of our deeply rooted Patani roots, because I'll be serving the Patani dishes, something like daging patani, gulai kemahang, of course the famous bekasam and ikan pindang, everything. Okay, I can see that Encik Zamir is already like,
Ni Zamir, kat ni.
Okay, and
Ni, bibi. Sapu sikit. I think Nash, I think very interesting, Nash. In terms of the foods is one of the strength of the Lenggong has, and we have also a few comments from Facebook. Let me just read a few of the comments. For example, Rashiha say, I do kayaking expedition near Lenggong sometimes. Wow, kita ada Lenggong, ada expedition, ada what they call it, kayaking in nearby. And also from Nasha Abdullah, say, I think there's a lack of publicity and promotional materials in English on Lenggong. Maybe now we can offer tours to our clients. So fantastic, Nasha. Thank you, Nasha. Yeah, betul. I think of course now that's the reason why we are promoting this Lenggong. We together with the Malaysia Tourism Council, Malaysia Tourism Productive Nexus, and also with the KETSA and also MPC, all together with all the industry players, from the inbound players, from MTC and all things. We hope that we'll be able to collaborate and to be on the same page that we can promote all out. Kita janji kita all out to promote Lenggong. What else, Nash? Apa yang kita lagi menarik yang pasal Rumah Tiang 16 and apa aktiviti yang kita boleh buat kan?
Daddy, may I add something?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, this is based on my experience. When I first datang ke Lenggong, I have no knowledge about apa yang ada di Lenggong, okay? Besides going to the website, to the Google, everything. So when I go to Rumah Tiang 16. They said, you have to go to Rumah Tiang. I was suggested by a friend, you have to go to see Nash, Rumah Tiang 16. So you pergi sana and he'll explain to me what are the things that I have to actually experience, A, B, C. He put it in an order. So I know that, these are like, I'm planning like just 2 or 3, but it ended up like 20. So I have to make another trip to go there to complete 20 or 30 experiences, and then this Rumah Tiang 16, you tengok gambar tadi atau mungkin kita boleh share balik nanti the poster. You see, it's very unique. From the Jaguar itself, the kereta Jaguar lama, and then everything when you go to the the apa Nash, the tangga naik atas, and then there's a way bila you naik tu dia very steep, and then you macam kena tunduk sikit, dia macam bagi hormat kepada rumah. It's like you're paying respect to the house, and then di dalam tu di atas sana, I was so lucky I dapat tidur di satu bilik yang tidur dengan kelambu. I was like so many years I've never been in dalam kelambu. So this one I dapat tilam ke kabu. This one yang ini katil yang bilik ni, you see in the screen, yang bilik ni katil atas. Dia ada 4 bilik. Ada satu tu yang I dapat, mungkin I don't know because of my weight ke apa, dia letak kat situ, tapi dia letak tilam ke kabu, very nice. And then dia pasang kelambu, and you feel like wow, you bangun tidur, you macam dah tak tahu dah am I in mana ni kan. It's like you feel like kampung. And then di dalam bilik tu you can see dia ada air from that tembikar tu, dia panggil apa, labu ada labu sayung tu, apa they call it. And then it's like very air dia sejuk daripada dalam tu, sejuk, natural sejuk. And then dia ada rasa pandan, I was like wow, it's very good, nice experience, very good. Okay, that is my sharing lah. Okay, silakan Nash, apa lagi yang mereka perlu tahu about the heritage stay?
Okay, saya perlu emphasize this over and over again because Rumah Tiang 16 bukan sekadar orang kata to showcase Rumah Tiang 16. Rumah Tiang 16 being the gateway to Lenggong's Jam. Yeah, I am the platform to get visitors connected to my local community. I am the catalyst. I'm actually the connector, I would say, because my community, they are so rich in their cultural inheritance, but they think that those are actually very ordinary. Okay, take for example, on one of the excursion, during the excursion, we will be going to a very remote kampong, and then we'll be having an exploration lunch on a hut. We call it dangao. And then before lunch is served, we will have the guests to experience how to grate the coconut, you know, using a coconut grater, a very old tools used by the rurals to grate the coconut, and coconut being the very essential part of all the Malay dishes cooking. This actually something a very good experience. It's not only to the foreigners, it's actually to even to the locals alike, especially the younger generation. They don't even know what is actually a coconut grater or how it looks like, apart from the one that you see in the normal sundry shop with all those spinning rotos, all those. And then when they get to go on that coconut grater, grate some coconut, and then they will actually help to mix that together, and then that actually gives them the end product of sambal kelapa, which they will be eating together with all those freshly plucked salad sticks from the garden in the house. What an eclectic moment that can be, because they're actually eating something very fresh from the garden of that makcik. It's actually, I can guarantee it's actually 100% organic, and is pesticide free. So this is something that I want to actually really, showcase here in Lenggong. People are still living very basic lifestyle, but then it's really fulfilling. Actually, they are very contented with their lifestyle. This actually, and the most invaluable thing is that the raw rural hospitality that each and every one of our guests will actually really feel. Because these rural folks, they feel very honored to actually have people to come to their humble abode to actually really experience a piece of their lifestyle, and then they really feel that, wow, we thought that we actually right in the remote area, nobody will actually really come here, but then look at you, you're actually from Russia, you're already here, you're from Ukraine, you're actually even from all the way from Cameroon. They actually hosted recently, actually came and then experienced the lifestyle. Yeah, so these are actually the things that I want to actually really portray to my guests.
Okay, Zamil,
Okay,
very interesting. In terms of, I wish I have I wish you have pictures to to show it to her. But I think we have a lot of pictures in the video in the YouTube. Maybe Zamil, we can open up the question Q&A sessions, or apa tu pun you can add on a little bit. Since you are there, since you've been there.
Okay, I have question from one of this one. Tanya about the cost. How much will it cost for the ini? So I think Nesh can jawab that.
Okay, for a 3 days and 2 nights, I will actually charge for a couple 1,500 ringgit, Malaysia ringgit.
500 ringgit per person?
Yeah, per couple.
Per couple. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, right, yes. Right. 500 ringgit per couple, inclusive for what?
1,500 ringgit. You say
1,500. 1,500 inclusive of what?
Yes. That's a full board, 3 days and 2 nights, including of accommodation.
Okay.
The full board, all the 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and 2 dinners.
Wow.
And all the activities, all the private guided tours, and as well as local transportation. So these are all inclusive. So all you have to do is just bring yourself, and then bring your walking gear, and leave the rest of the cast of the world at your doorstep in KL or from where you are, then just come to Lenggong and then unwind with us.
Alright, okay. Zamir,
Yeah.
1,500. Very interesting. Maybe you can say, you can comment a little bit.
I think it's very reasonable. I mean, for expats and for our foreign tourists, it's very. I think it's very cheap, because I've been through this the packages, and you need to have you need to have another transport, a 4-wheel drive, to actually go to some of the places, especially a place when you want to see the deer farm, and then something one activity where these commandos training camp, and some of the quad hills you have to take a different transport. So I think 1,005 full board is very reasonable, and I think Rumah Tiang 16 is the first place where, especially those backpackers, they should actually datang situ dulu, and to get to know the where to go and where to sleep. Maybe like maybe Nash pun dia tidak lah, dia ada bilik, and then mungkin dia hanya boleh ada just 4 rooms. Maybe he can advise that, okay, you come and go there, you can do camping at this place or whatever, but you can actually consult with him, because he knows what are the requirements and what are the things that you should know about Lenggong, you know.
Yes,
Nash.
if I may add that somewhere, yeah. Okay, it is actually very true that when people most of the time will actually Google about Lenggong, then Rumah Tiang 16 will come out, and then of course with the contact number that they receive, they will actually call me up and then say that, okay, they're actually having 20 people that would like to actually come and then stay. Well, then I say that, okay, my house is actually a private house, and then I have only 3 rooms that can accommodate maximum 6 people at one go. So I will actually farm them out. So in a way that I'll become the hub for people to inquiring about the accommodation here in Lenggong. Then I'm actually will give them all the contact numbers of all the other homestay providers here within Lenggong. So at least they will receive some of the the people that I told the guests to say that I would be able to actually organize an excursion for them. So then I will have to actually really hire some bigger people mover then, because my car cannot accommodate 20 people.
Okay, thank you. Zedi, I think this is now the time for us to dengar apa kata, let hear our audience what they have to say, what they like to share or they like to ask. Anyone? Just unmute your this one. Okay, Encik Zul daripada Johor. Encik Zul, unmute. Okay.
Cik, selamat petang Cik Nas, Cik Zamil dan Cik Uzaidi. It's a pleasure to be able to hear the product that Cik Nas is promoting. But let me just inform you, speaking as a tourist guide, I do find, to be very honest, 3 days 2 nights at the price of 1,500 ringgit for a couple can be very steep. To be very honest, just look at me on that point of view. Now, the reason being, I have a product because as a tour guide, I got school tours, Singaporean and international school from Johor Bahru, which will take advantage of this homestay kampung community. It's called Kampung Lone in Negeri Sembilan. Try and visit that place, Kampung Lone with Negeri Sembilan. They have the beauty of sawah, plantation, rubbers, you name it. And their community is also a place where they do a house sharing, where students, every 4 students will have a family to take care of with the foods and everything. And I don't wish to mention the price, but they were very, very affordable. So you have to look at that point. If you're going to sell at 1,500, you have to have a very strong, concrete product. I mean, I'm not going to come all the way to Lenggong just to pay that amount, just to stay in the house, which is uniquely known to you. But at the same time, I have Kuala Kangsar, I have Teluk Intan, and I have Taiping. Mind you, Ipoh too, because I have been to Lenggong. I know the environment. I've seen the whole area. So just look at my point as telling you that you have to do a unique branding to your product Lenggong, because even in Johor Bahru, we have a place called Kampung Peta, the Aborigine, Orang Asli. Every year we have the Sumpit event, and trust me, the product was sold at $900 for a couple, and for the past 3 years, it has been negative. So
Okay.
I'm sharing you as a person who is,
Yeah.
I wish to commit myself to your product, but you also have to revise and start looking at your pricing, because
Interesting.
honestly,
Yeah, interesting.
Okay.
for
Very
that
interesting.
price
Yeah.
at this moment, it's very tough.
Okay,
Thank you
interesting
very much.
point, Cik Zul. Very, it's a very valid point. Maybe Zamir, since you are there, maybe how do you counter if they say, okay, it is mahal, expensive? How do you counter this comment?
Okay, there are actually two way of looking at it. If I'm an expat or a foreigner, I think it's really worth. It is really worth the 1,005. That is for the international market, you know.
Correct.
That is the market, because I know I actually followed him, you know, the 3 days 2 nights, you know, and I know that I'm having more extra top up to that, you know. They give me this and extra that, a little bit of this and that, everything. So I feel like you know, taking consideration of the transportation, you know, the boating activities, you know, they're like when you recalculate, it's still considerably cheap. But okay, now we look at the local market potential of the what do you call this, domestic market. Yes, I think we can do some adjustment on that. Maybe you know, you can have like you know, you can do your you know, own transport, you know, maybe like you can on the some of the activity you do not include. I think yes, I think I agree with Cik Zul. Our local what do you call, domestic market, we have to something that we get this one.
I think betul Cik Zamir. Memang I think you have to different people have different tastes, have different capacity and different capabilities. But looking at the listing of Nash dekat OTA, the online travel agents, the everything, I didn't see any negative at all. Nash, I didn't see it. All the positive, all the, I know, even though you are selling at 1,500, I can see a lot of positive punya comment, and say they are coming back. And I know a few of my friends, especially from the even from the EPU, from the even I think Puan Hafizah also was there and never complain kata mahal. So what apa yang benda yang even though the price for other people that 1,500 is steep, but there are a lot of contents ke ataupun what is it yang rahsianya yang was so commanding a positive comments on this all these listings, the OTA listing.
I made you the feedback as a customer.
Alright, customer.
Yes.
Silakan customer.
Yes. I think okay. I agree with Zarina. The package may look steep for local market, but the target is for niche market, you know, for a segmented market yang even local pun yang boleh appreciate nature, appreciate laid back kampung life. You go to Lenggong, you don't expect to go for shopping. You don't go expecting high rise, if you call that an attraction. No, but you will get low hanging clouds, two mountain ranges on each side of the town. You know, it's like, I would say, like something like Scotland. You know,
Whoa.
mornings, it's a very cool. In the mornings, you don't need aircon at all.
Interesting.
Especially if it rains, lagilah. Memang macam overseas lah. Okay, Nash punya package, because he shared the wealth. Okay, so I believe he has to put a certain percentage to that, create value. To pay extra, because it goes back to the community. It's not for him. It's not big boys in the business. No, it's just the local people, orang kampung yang baru nak kenal macam mana they can bring their uniqueness, their treasure will be the tourism.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think betul. There you go. Real customer punya testimony. I agree with her because a lot of positive testimony from all over. If you check on Google, Uncle Google, Rumah 16, there is not even one negative comments. I think I like to comment on this, and I like to congratulate Nash on this. In fact, Rumah 16 is surrounded by the so many things. If I can see, there are two parts, archaeology punya products and also non-archaeology. Archaeology tu macam-macam lah. The Perak Man lah, and Lenggong Archaeology Gallery lah, and Gua Gunung Runtuh, Gua Harimau, Gua Bukit Jawa, Kota Tampan, Bukit Bunuh, Gua Kajang, Gua Teluk Kelawar lah, macam-macam. This gua ni tak ada dekat Kampung Lonek ni. Ada kat sini, kat Lenggong ni. Tak boleh nak tolong lah tu. Ni dekat Lenggong. So the destination itself is actually sellable. The only thing that we don't want to be over tourism. We have so many. I think Lenggong has so many. Tambah lagi dengan masjid lama Kampung Gelok lah. We have river cruise, Amazon, Temelong, fish farming lah, and deer rusa lah, and all madu kelulut and kedede lah, caviar lah. I think it's beyond our imagination that Lenggong has so many products that we can that thanks to TPN also MPC that kita buatkan macam-macam produk ni to get more commercialized. Okay, mungkin Nash, back to you Nash. What can you say about this? So many positive, but also there are people comments, but so steep. The price is so steep. What's your comment?
Okay, thank you so much, Sheikh Zulkifli, for the input. Yes, I completely agree where you're coming from, yeah? And I have guests who has actually, when they first make the inquiry, and when I quote them the price, and they did not say anything, they came, they paid. At the end of the stay, many of them, even almost all of them, say that this is really worth every penny that I paid you, because they say that I thought that I just arrived and then, you know, just a normal person, greeting me and my family, nothing, but you put all the effort to put on your tanja, you put on your busana, you berpantun, you serve the cold tower like a 5-star boutique hotel serving to their premium paying guests. Yeah, and all of this is worth it. And then what's the best part is that is you, because you are actually doing this for your community. We actually feel that this is actually something that we could actually really contribute to community of Lenggong. We never heard about Lenggong, but then at the end of this trip, they said that we really have to thank you for really exposing Lenggong to us. Now that we know Lenggong is such, we are Malaysian, we are not even a prouder Malaysian. Yeah, because yes, true enough, perhaps maybe we have the same products, but then the art of storytelling is there. Yeah, we may have the same paddy field, we may have same rubber trees, we may have same lake somewhere, but then Lenggong, we have the only place that is actually in Asia that has this material, these rocks that actually the byproduct of a meteorite impact. So that add to the value to it. But then all in all, I would say that it's actually the people, the touch, yeah, the one that actually really connect to the guests. And of course, Lenggong has various kind of services or accommodation that can cater to all levels of income groups of our guests. Rumah Tiang 16 is really, like Puan Hafiza said just now, that I'm catering to the niches of people who want to actually experience it. I have, yes, the locals who actually come and then stay with us. These are all professionals, young professionals, doctors, architects, that they have small children, that they want to have their children to connect back to their roots, but then they couldn't find anywhere else. Here, the children can run around, run freely around. They can even go and then pet the rooster that I keep in the coop, and then they even go and then play the upe pinang, everything. So this is actually their experience. So yeah, to some people, maybe the price is actually steep, but then I'm adamant that I have a set of my niche market to cater to, that I will stay with that. And then of course, I am positive about that because I did not receive any feedback saying that my price is actually very high, and the feedback that I got, at okay, they feel it's worth every penny that they spent on their 3 days and 2 nights here with us.
Okay, back to you,
Okay.
Zamil.
Okay.
Siapa lagi?
Alright, kita nak dengar apa pandangan okay, from KL. Auntie, you ready to comment, or any Auntie Lucy or anyone? Rajesh, just unmute and
Mana aunty, bukan aunty tu kakak tu. Kakak tu
kakak,
Zamil tu.
kakak.
Panggil aunty, rosak betul.
Aunty boleh, tak apa.
Auntie lain, auntie yang muda, auntie muda.
Mesti muda kan?
Okay, aunty.
First and foremost, I would say thank you very much. I find this extremely interesting. And if you talk about price, personally, I think it's affordable. And I must also share with Nash, because I work with the airline. Please don't get offended, yeah. I find that Malaysians generally, kat luar negeri dia nak belanja, dia tak kisah, dia tak kata mahal. Tapi kalau dalam negeri, sorry, I'm not from the north, huh? And then they will say it's expensive. But seriously, if it's like 1,500 ringgit, say from Kuala Lumpur, where can I go? And I think what is really very significant about this Nash punya rumah ni is you can't quantify experience, how you feel. That duit tak boleh kira, you know. And I think this is the unique thing about Malaysia, and especially people in the kampongs. Personally, I have traveled from Perlis, Sabah, Sarawak, and personally, I love going to the kampongs because the people are so genuine. And can you imagine for a person from Denmark, especially, where I'm sure, Nash, you know, for them, you can drop on the street and they just leave you. So that is really a very good experience for people. Carry on, Nash. I think it's lovely. But only one thing, if I may add, don't become too ambitious. Like I've seen in kampongs, when people, they become too ambitious. They want to cater to Mak Saleh nak yang ni. No. You keep to your kampung. That is what the Mak Saleh is here for. Not high-rise buildings and the Ferraris. No. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good advice. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Good advice. So Nash, don't jangan buat swimming pool Jangan buat swimming pool depan rumah So because we want the original, the real things. I think looking at the price, I think I agree with Madam Lucy that the price is subjective. Everybody is own. They have their own thing. Dia punya capability. By looking at the other foreigner punya tempat, for example, I'm very familiar with Gulin. Gulin ni tempat ni gua je, just gua, nothing else. Gua saja, just like macam Ipoh lah. Actually, exactly macam Ipoh. So, you go all the way to Gulin to see this gua macam Ipoh, tapi you pay RM78 tu. Nak masuk gua tu RM78. Nak masuk gua tu pergi all the way. Itu belum lagi lain-lain lagi, tambah-tambah lagi. So, I think the price is subjective depending on you, how you, and we also we hope that we can appreciate our own product. Siapa lagi nak appreciate kalau tidak kita? And I think we have a fantastic place, Lenggong, and also Nash has done a good job, and I hope that Nash please continue, but don't be ambitious. Please please push on Lenggong to make sure that Lenggong is bukan over tourism, to have special niche. I think we can do a lot of these places in Lenggong, and a lot of people can benefit from this. Mungkin Nash, Zamir, siapa lagi? Ni daripada Rajas ada, kita ada Alia Langkawi, mungkin dia boleh, kita kena biar dia cakap sikit.
One more this one from the audience before we conclude. Okay, anybody? Saya tengok tadi Puan Safina is ready to datang.
Alright.
Puan Safina, you want to say something? You have to unmute the mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what to say, but just really excited to go back because when I was a little girl, I grew up with my opa dekat kampung sekolah. And then when my grandmother dah tua, she came and lived with us in Taiping. I orang Taiping. And then I haven't been back for a long time. And then she passed away. And then we only go back waktu raya to visit the cemetery, you know, pergi ziarah kubur. And that's it. Our apa nama ni, my nanny lives in Cepor, Kampung Cepor. So every year raya we go to Kampung Cepor as well. All those things that Nash had on his itinerary, you know, all the naik apa main pelepah pelepah lah, kukok nyok lah, semua tu, all those things I did. Kukok nyok, perah nyok, buat santan, everything.
Wow.
I did. Even help to do the apa bedak sejuk. I help my grandmother make bedak sejuk. So really excited to try it out. Husband and I were going to try it out first. If we really enjoy it, and then I nak ajak my friends, my adik-beradik, all the anak menakan semua do it, because the little ones, the young generation, they have no idea. They don't know the heritage. So really excited.
Thank you. Puan Safida, apa ni kita pun tak sabar menanti apa kedatangan you ke Lenggong. And then
have to wait until selamat lah. You know.
Selamat dah kita.
COVID,
Selamat dah. Now I think is selamat lah, because you just have to wear the mask, everything, you follow the SOP. I think it should be okay. Di kampung Okay, having said that, I just want to say that, okay, everything we talk about a good thing here, but it's not fair, you know. Kita kena ada satu yang negatif. So let me share with you satu yang negatif. You all should know, if you have my size of body, you pergi kampung, you better don't go to the toilet, you know. I cuba masuk toilet kampung, I tak boleh keluar. I cuba masuk toilet kampung, di kampung di kampung.
Zamir, please take note that we are on live, bukannya private session. We are live, Facebook live. So anybody can so please take note that.
Okay. Alright. Okay, just to tell you that kampung it's a real kampung. Ini bukan dia apa, it's a real kampung. So something that you can cherish lah, no? Ada pakai apa telaga and then everything. So apa ni Nash, can you want to apa ni conclude?
Mungkin Zamir, ada one question. Okay, now the MCO is extended. Alright?
Okay.
We cannot go to your place. Nash, we cannot go to your place because it's beyond the border. Okay, now how can we appreciate? How can we still support your initiative, support your project, supporting your this one without going to your place physically? Maybe you have a certain program ke apa ke, maybe you have certain I don't know, maybe what is your plan for all these 2 weeks ni? 2 minggu ni tak boleh pergi tempat you ni. I wanted to go to your place but I cannot. So what's the option?
The option is really perhaps maybe you have to take virtually, because yes, with NPC's programs, the My VSP things, we try to do that. But then here in Lenggong, everyone will have to bear in mind that we are tucked in a very remote area in the valleys, in the mountains, so data coverage, internet connectivity here is below average. We tried to do that a few times. At a certain spot, yes, we have good connectivity, but then when we move somewhere else, then it's going to be gone. All right, but then if you want to actually really support the local community, you can, of course, you can actually contact me if you want to actually buy some of their products. Some of my guests actually they produce the sagu, rumbia, they have kuih bakar, they have kuih bahulu, they have perkasam. So that can be couriered easily to within Malaysia. So if you want to help them, you can always let me know.
And this is made in Lenggong.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, what was the number one product? Zamir, what is your favorite number one product, Zamir?
Of course, rusa. I
Rusa.
love rusa. Yes, rusa. Nasi goreng rusa, rusa masak hitam, rusa. So it's so like, wow.
So it's
Okay.
venison.
Bebe.
Yes. And then we have kebebe, we have kebebe, we have loma fish. Yang very unique, loma fish ni memang macam salmon, Right.
Alright, okay, alright. Okay, Nash, again, just now, what are you saying?
Okay, Chem, I have one guest who is not able to actually, join in. I don't know, he couldn't say that he couldn't connect to it, but then he actually put some notes that he wanted to actually share with everybody. I send you on your WhatsApp. If you could actually share that with the guest.
Okay, I will, let me see.
Nash, baca ada dalam chat box ada question. Do you have any other packages?
Okay, for Rumah Tiang 16, I do have other. It's actually basically a custom-made excursion, depending on what you want to have. Because I do receive guests in the past that they do not have much time. Okay, a lady from New Zealand and also US, they had just few hours en route to KL, so they wanted to just go and see the UNESCO site. So we compress everything and then actually do it in 4 hours before we actually they actually take the next bus to go. Yeah, and then of course the rest, like the other day I hosted a group of photographers to come and then do some excursion in Lenggong for the best photography spots. And we even Rumah Tiang also got being honored by one of the polytechnics in Johor to come and then help them to host a heritage trail of Lenggong that we actually organize everything for them. So
Okay, Nash, I have this note from you. All right, maybe you can explain. These are some testimony from your guests.
Right.
Maybe Uzaidi boleh bacakan.
Okay. All right, I think it's very interesting because there are so many testimony. This is part of it. You were saying that Nash is a storyteller, the bridge builder in the multicultural country. Wow. I think must be a foreigner, must be a foreign tourist, I assume,
yes,
Nash?
Before you continue further, on the bottom right part of this note is that PP is actually called the abbreviation for Pak Peter. He's actually a Swiss national.
Okay.
Swiss national, and he was the general manager for Tanjung Jara Beach Resort in Terengganu for quite a long time. And he is now a retired person and then now residing in Ipoh. And when he read about Rumah Tiang 16 on Uncover Malaysian Beauty Facebook, that he quickly made a point to come and visit me. And then, of course, hoteliers and hoteliers, we talk the same wavelength. So he's been kind of a very good, commentators to me, and whatever I laid out in front of him, this is what I'm doing, this is my product. This is what you have to do, and then this is actually what you are actually doing the correct part already. Then so I informed him about the session today, and then he wanted to join in, but then he was not able to connect it to this session, and then he said, okay, please, he sent me all these points that what he thinks about me.
Yeah, how nice of him. If I can continue, he said, Nash, the storyteller, the bridge builder in a multicultural country, a bridge builder between rural and urban communities and global travelers, a storyteller par excellence with his passions and vast knowledge about his home turf. Nash used Lenggong, archaeological history, heritage, and traditional to enlighten the world beyond the Lenggong Valley. His effort put Lenggong on the international tourist map. These activities add value to his homeland and Perak at large. Nash, a service professional with 16 years of experience in the international 5-star hotel and resort industry, therefore able to anticipate customers' needs and expectations. Innovative, at the same time committed to revive old ritual, folk tales, historical, archaeological facts beyond the Lenggong Museum. A unique storyteller, not your usual Malay Resort. Fantastic. This is actually you can use it for your promotion, for your advertisement. Fantastic testimony, and I really appreciate his comment, his testimony. And I think with this, I think we can promote more, especially at your the Lenggong and last, and also especially in your place. Thank you, Nash, for sharing this testimony. Nash, what else?
Right. So I think that's about it, because Lenggong is truly, as I said earlier during our earlier session, when we started the session, that this is Lenggong is actually my birthplace, but then it's so completely alien to me. And then returning to Lenggong, I am actually a foreigner in my own homeland, and I'm actually discovering it, day by day. And then, so if you want to uncover Lenggong, come and then uncover together with me, because this is actually a very exciting journey for me, and I live my day, and I really look forward to living my next day, with new experience about Lenggong, because there's so much I have not known about Lenggong. So it's actually my, discovery time about my beautiful Lenggong Valley. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Nash. Thank you, Nash. Thank you. Fantastic sharing, and also I really appreciate your effort and your initiative. We would like to thank also to our partners, MPC and TPN, or the ministry, even the state governments, Perak, we together, especially YB, Datuk Noli, was very passionate to promote Lenggong, and also to Tourism Malaysia and also Motec. We would like to thank them, and together with the industry players, I think we can do something.